A vibrant Superman catches two thieves with his super laser vision and takes them into prison as the police officer admires him. And that's a whole new cartoon series aired to uplift Superman's image through the city folk. Even Clark Kent and Lois Lane sees it on the street and talks about what's really going on, as Bruce Wayne is the mastermind behind the idea. Suddenly, they see a commotion downtown as people start running away in chaos. The supervillain Atomic Skull is attacking the people in Metropolis, killing several people by turning them into dust instantly. Clark runs into the alley to change into his Superman outfit and flies off to confront the Atomic Skull. Superman launches at him, and they fight it out mid-air as well as on the high rooftops. After some back-and-forth punches exchanged, Superman finally manages to take down the criminal at a lake in a nearby park, while the citizens cheer him on, and Lois Lane watching from the sidelines. Superman suppresses the urge to finish him off and takes him into custody. A group of workers take their dinner on the Metropolis docks with their pet dog, and just then, they see a group of superpowered humans flying above them. The men quickly run away while their dog starts to bark at the superhumans. The lady with animal powers lunges at the dog and ends its relentless barks. Soon afterwards, Superman is questioned by the United Nations Council about the most recent attacks. When questioned about the property damage and lives lost in the fight and why he doesn't try to fix the world with his power, Superman delivers a speech which emphasizes both the folly of lawless violence and the greater good that is found within everyone. His speech is interrupted by the leaders of Bialya and Pokolistan, who blame each other for the violation of a peace treaty. They declare war on each other. Meanwhile, one of the four superhumans is watching Superman from the roof, and just then, Superman leaves to the war-torn nations to help the people. Arriving in Bialya, Superman witnesses the deployment of a Pokolistani bioweapon, which attacks and destroys most of the Bialyan military forces. As Superman tries to remove the Bialyan soldiers from danger, a team of superpowered vigilantes, now known as the Elite, arrive and aid him in destroying the bioweapon. The beast multiplies into two creatures. Manchester Black, who was spying on Superman earlier, shares valuable information to him on how to end the beast. Superman freezes the beast and shatters it into 1,000,000 pieces. But before Superman could learn their names, or even where they are from, the Elite vanishes. The Elite consists of Manchester Black, Coldcast, Menagerie, and Hat. Superman returns to Metropolis to report the news and further investigate the Elite. Daily Planet Chief wants Clark and Lois to follow up on a lead in England about the Elite, and Lois is not happy about Superman flying her personally to England. They see the whistleblower woman surrounded by journalists and instantly get the idea what she is doing. Lois takes a taxi to go do the research on her own, and just then, Superman is approached by Manchester Black, who escorts him to their colleagues on top of a hill. Black then proceeds to explain about them and tells his story to Superman via telekinesis. Manchester has been an underprivileged child growing up under an alcoholic father. He used to pickpocket people using his innocent sister as bait. One day, under a rail bridge, Black was having a terrible headache, and they were about to get caught by the police. His sister tried fighting back at the police, nearly getting herself killed as she was falling in front of an oncoming train. And that's exactly when Manchester's powers kicked in, wanting to save his sister. Quite the story, and he tells Superman how he later met the others while on secret duty for Her Majesty the Queen. Soon after, Manchester gets another headache, like an alarm notifying him of people in trouble. The Elite and Superman arrive at subway rail tracks where civilians on a subway train are trapped underwater due to a terrorist attack. People are panicking and they are running out of precious time. Superman quickly divulges a plan and orders Manchester to help him lift the subway train with the tunnel above the water. They lift it, while Hat uses his dragon to freeze the water so they can safely place the tunnel. Coldcast gets hold of the two terrorists who did the attack, and the terrorists are nearly killed by Manchester's attempt at interrogation, and Superman begins to be concerned about the motives of his newfound friends. Manchester Black, the group's leader, broadcasts a message to the planet, announcing that the elite intends to deal with the villains lethally. After hearing the message, most of the people are overjoyed, and even some media are backing the elite and their actions. Soon after, Superman travels to Bialya, where Coldcast inadvertently hits him with a neutrino pulse. Just when the Bialyan soldiers are upon a weakened Superman, he is saved by the other members of the elite and teleported to their base of operations, a sentient macroorganism named Bunny. After regaining his strength with the use of solar energy pumped into him by the elite, Superman's attempt to convince the elite that killing is unnecessary, it falls upon deaf ears, and he is unceremoniously teleported back to Earth. Clark goes to his family-owned Kent farms to talk with his old folks as his father gives him good advice on what to do and what not to do, just like all fathers do. But he is soon called back to the city by Lois. Meanwhile, one night on the dinner call, Atomic Skull breaks out of prison and is wreaking havoc on the streets of Metropolis, killing innocent citizens. He is soon challenged by the elite with little success. Initially, Atomic Skull is able to throw the elite members around with ease as the onlookers gather to watch the fight unfold. Superman arrives and begins to coordinate an attack with the elite that allows them to emerge victoriously after a brutal fight, as Coldcast absorbs the atomic energy from Atomic Skull, rendering him too weak to stand up even. But at the end, Atomic Skull is executed by Manchester Black, at the very protest of Superman. The elite's actions are praised all over the news, as citizens welcome their brutal punishments for the criminals as much needed, opposed to Superman's justice. As for the Bialya and Pokolistan matter, the elite orders to flatten the Pokolistan capital using fighter jets, but fortunately, Superman is there to save the day. He quickly acquires the missiles and disarms the jets, gathers the fighter jets mid-air and the pilots, and declares war over. But the elite are there to confront him in front of the people and millions watching the live stream. The elite inform Superman that, in the interests of peace, they have also killed both the Pokolistani and Bialyan leaders, and Superman does not take this news lightly. In the heat of the moment, Superman attacks Manchester Black through his shield and injures him, but his team is quickly on Superman as they are able to subdue him. They declare war against Superman. The next time they meet, it will be the final time. Lois is sharing a moment of affection with Clark as they sit on their couch at home, and she is worried that Superman will not be able to stand his ground against the elite who are too damn powerful. The next morning, Superman left her a final note and left for the battlefield to test his destiny on this Earth. When the elite appears to Superman downtown, they bring their interdimensional spaceship Bunny along with them. Superman informs the elite that he is willing to fight them, but away from the civilian populace. Black teleports both parties to the moon and broadcasts the fight worldwide. The great battle begins as the four members of the elite rain down their attack on the Man of Steel with no mercy. While Superman is able to withstand and counter the attacks of Coldcast, Menagerie, and Hat, he is brought to his knees by Manchester's telekinetic attack. Manchester bids him farewell and orders Hat to make a shield for them. In front of millions of people watching it unfold live on stream, Coldcast unleashes a massive blast of electromagnetic energy of 15 suns, seemingly obliterating Superman to dust. Just when they thought the Man of Steel is no more, and now it's time to shine for them, the disconcerted voice of Superman begins to taunt the elite, stating that he has finally been convinced that he needs to start killing villains, beginning with the elite. First, he injects Menagerie with a poison which takes out all her little creatures out of her body as she becomes a toxic host and goes into a seizure. Superman then suffocates the Hat with a high-speed whirlwind, and now, Manchester and Coldcast are absolutely seeing stars in broad daylight as they are about to wet their pants. How is he doing this? Manchester teleports them to Metropolis, hoping to use the innocent civilians as cover before Superman seemingly throws Coldcast into orbit. Reappearing before an increasingly desperate Manchester, Superman is once again attacked, but the assault fails to harm him. He uses his heat vision to lobotomize Manchester, stripping him of his powers. Now, believe me, my friends, Batman would love to have this Superman by his side all day, all night. Believing his death to be seconds away, Manchester tells Superman that the world knows he is no better than they are, and thus unable to be trusted. However, Superman reveals that he managed to set up the whole thing with the help of Manchester's sister, who was concerned about him. He reveals that his super robots are in control of the situation, and the elite were not killed but transported to the Fortress of Solitude and stripped of their power. Even the bunny is now on Superman's side and has aided this mission in secret. The people of Earth realize that violence and killing were incompatible with the tenets of justice, and accept that Superman's methods are in the best interest of humanity. The real Man of Steel, the Superman, swears that, "I dream of a world where dignity, honor, and justice are the reality we all share, and I will never stop fighting for the world I dream." Thank you, Superman. Thank you for being the real hope of humanity, the son of Mother Earth and hero of mankind. Thank you for watching Second Look. Like, comment, share, and subscribe for more awesome videos. Have a nice day.